Greetings viewers and welcome to my channel. For your convenience, links to the previous sessions appear in the description of this video. Now let's start with the new session. So, Khusro Sahab, we have been talking about the solutions. What are
Problem.
your sources of inspirations about these solutions?
Thank you, Adam. Uh, I think today I want to talk about not just what the solutions are because they are complex, but I want to give some reading material. People whom have inspired me, and I think that you can learn by going directly to them. Uh, and I have four people in mind that I want you to mention today. Number one on my list is Agha Hasan Abdi. And uh, Agha Hasan Abdi, I mean, just to give you a flavor um, uh, of four of his topics, four of his advices to us. Number one, submission to God. Number two, service to humanity. Number three, humility. And number four, a belief in the invisible and the intangible. And now, what is the importance of Agha Senapati in this, apart from the fact that of his philosophy? A lot of people sort of say, well, how can you run a business based on spirituality? So they're sort of saying that this is all right. I mean, uh, you can meditate and do that, but what about concrete things? Agha Senapati is an example who ran a profit organization based on these principles. How did he do it? So study him. His tapes are available. A lot of material are available. And we can give you information as to the sites you can go and visit where there's a lot more information on him. What did he do? He took a bunch of Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, and he motivated them. He motivated them with his philosophy. They were not, outstanding people. They were like you and me, ordinary people, all from the third world. And he created one of the largest private banks in the world. And he did it not once, but twice. First, he created United Bank out of nothing. And then he created BCCI out of nothing. It seemed out of nothing. And he is giving credit to this philosophy. He says, this is my method. So the answer to those people who are saying, how can you run a business, a for-profit organization based on spiritualism? Agha Hasan Abdi is the answer. He has demonstrated it. He has done it. So when people ask for more information, we have lots of material on Agha Hasan Abdi.
Can we say, Khusro Sahab, that while practicing those philosophies uh, and keeping them as the prime of prime importance, the profit automatically came in. Yeah, that was not the main motive, but that also came in. So this philosophy will give success not in building the personalities and how to deal with life, but also getting the material also. That success comes automatically.
Alim, the philosophy is not against making profits. So the profits are one of the goals. It is how you make those profits. It is through practicing ethical means. So uh, we'll come to this discussion later on. Let me complete the four people. The second person that I would recommend reading is Khalil Gibran. And Khalil Gibran, a short book called The Prophet. Each and every topic is worth reading. And I'm going to give just a flavor. His topic on giving. What does he say on giving? He says, and who are you? Who are you that men should rend their bosom and unveil their pride, that you may see their worth naked and their pride unabashed? So when you are giving, people don't have to sort of bow down to you and ask. People don't have to say, look, I am a needy person. People don't have to give you their sob story. The principle is not to give when you are asked. You have to give. And you must read this. It's powerful stuff. What does he say about children? He says, they are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. And while parents may give them their love, they do not own their thoughts or destinies. Our children are not our properties. They are our future. We do not want to pass on our prejudices to them. They know the future better than we do. This is powerful stuff. What has got to do with business? Everything. Number 3, Arundhati Roy. Most people may not even have heard of her. I'm going to just give you a flavor. She's worth reading. She says, never get used to the unspeakable violence and vulgar disparity of the life around us. We take it for granted that this is what happens. No, this should not happen. What are we doing? We cannot accept it. And then she says in another moment, stop buying what they are selling. Stop buying what they are selling. We are consuming rubbish and feeling happy about it. I'm just giving a flavor. Number 4. Here is a name which few people have heard of just before a few months. Her name is Naledi Pandor. She is the foreign minister of South Africa. And as you know, South Africa has brought this case for genocide in the International Court of Justice. And I'm just going to give you a flavor. I mean, she's worth listening to. She says an occupying power cannot claim the right of self-defense. Simple as that. So what we have over here are representative of the third world, I'm not quoting anybody else other than the people where we come from. And they are all united because the present system has failed them. The problem is not that we are in disagreement that the present system has failed the majority of the world. The present system was never meant for us. It was meant for the victors of the Second World War. What is the problem then? The problem is that we have been trained and educated in the present system. This is all we know.
So Khusro Sahab, can I ask that these personalities that you mentioned, did they themselves succeed in their missions, what they wanted to do with their philosophy?
So far, none of them have given our present standards. But success will come. They have given us a light. And we are facing a formidable challenge. Why did BCCI fail? I don't want to go into that. Right? But and it was not that Mr. Abidi did not make mistakes. Of course, he made mistakes. But those were not mistakes that would have justified closing the bank. Anyway, I don't want to go astray from it.
Yeah, I see it this way that, Mr. Abidi inspired so many people with his philosophy. And I see that that is his success, that he affected the thinking of so many people. That is the success story.
You're right. Absolutely. We are now saying, at least I am saying, don't judge by the fact that he failed. He almost succeeded. And there's nothing wrong with his philosophy. There may have been weaknesses in his practice. So let's not throw away with the baby with the bathwater. So as a first step, as Arundhati Roy has said, we have to stop buying what they are selling. And secondly, what Naledi is saying, and she's saying is deal amongst ourselves. We have to do business with one another. We are the majority. We are the majority of the world's population. Why are we holding ourselves to be purchased or intimidated? Why are we allowing ourselves to be manipulated and divided and developing in the process an inferiority complex? We think there's something wrong with us. To your point, oh, look, we failed. No, we did not fail. This is the start. We have to reframe the problem. It is not an issue of the division between rich and poor anymore. The issue is between master and slave. We have been enslaved. We have been colonized. Our assets have been taken away. But it's not just our assets which have been taken away. We have been mentally colonized. Yes, we are poor. But we are poor because we have allowed ourselves to be enslaved and allowed our assets to be taken away from us for a pittance. But you know something? We still have our biggest asset. Nobody can take it away. And that is our ethics and our morality. I wish we recognize this. This is our asset. The question is, do we look upon ourselves as moral people? Or do we look upon ourselves as corrupt people? The looming battle in front of us is not going to be fought with bombs and what do you call it? Small things, drones. The looming battle in front of us is for the hearts and minds of people. This is what Abidi taught us. He took a bunch of Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, and Arabs and motivated them to believe in themselves and their philosophy, and then to achieve outstanding success in a for-profit organization. So, my purpose today was to give you a reading material. Who are the people? What were their philosophies? And I want to leave with two thoughts. And then you might have questions. So let me mention these two thoughts first. Number one, the end does not justify the means. The means must be moral and sincere and be aligned with the universe. The end will look after itself. And the end, if you pursue the right means, will be far beyond your expectations. You cannot imagine. You cannot imagine the success that will flow from this. You just have to believe in this. Second piece of advice, do not lead a two-dimensional life in a three-dimensional world. You know, we know how to deal with the length and the height, but we have no idea how to deal with the breadth. We know how to measure length and height, but the breadth lies in the unknown, in the intangible. You understand what I'm saying? This is a three-dimensional world, and we have chosen to live in a small part of it. How powerful is this philosophy? If what it does is allow us to live fully in a three-dimensional world. But then we have to understand how to travel into the unknown, how to recognize the invisible, which we will go into. We will do our best to explain what it is. Because all the time I think I'm introducing the subject. So, uh, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think capitalism is a big hurdle in achieving our goals. So, is there any alternative to the system of capitalism?
Yes. There's nothing wrong with capitalism. Uh, if capitalism means competition, what is wrong with capitalism is where it serves a selfish purpose. What we want to do is to create a system which is selfless. So anything which is driven by selfishness will have short-term results and will only result in benefiting the person who manipulates the system. Capitalism is supposed to operate in a free market. We do not have a free market. We have a manipulated market. So we're not saying capitalism is bad. What we're saying is that capitalism, the way it is practiced to serve the interests of a few people, that is not the result that we are looking for. So what we want is not a system which is win-lose. We want a system which is win-win. All parties must win. Capitalism as it is practiced today is win-lose. A few people win and the masses lose. So I hope that answers your question about capitalism. I don't want to be a misunderstanding that we are against capitalism. But this the sort of capitalism that we are seeing is terrible. So I think we have taken a lot of time. We've given a lot of thought for people to absorb. So I would like to end here.
Thank you very much, Khusro Sahab, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. So, viewers, we come to the end of this session of the series. I hope you liked it. If so, please like and share this video as much as possible. Please also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you keep updated with the future uploads. I will encourage and appreciate your questions and comments on this video. Please write them in the comments box. You may also send your comments and questions by email. The email address is askkelly@alimakhtar.com. All this information is also mentioned in the description of this video. Till next time, have a wonderful and thoughtful time. Thank you.